Very good morning, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Vikrant Sudhakar Palekar. I am working as assistant professor in Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Jawar, Palghar. Welcome on the lecture series on the topic carbonyl compounds. Till now, we have done 13 sessions on this particular topic, and in that we have studied the different part which are associated with the carbonyl compounds, mainly aldehyde and ketones. So in the last part we have seen the concept of tautomerization, in which we have understood what are the tautomers. Basically the tautomeric compounds are the nothing but the constitution isomers. They only differ in the position of one of the atom and double bond in the two structures, and they are observed to be at equilibrium position. So if we see what are the keto and enol compounds, so they differ only in the position of hydrogen atom, that is proton, in their structure. In one structure it is being present on the carbon, and in enol structure it is being present on the oxygen. So basically these two structures are interconvertible, and they can be in the equilibrium also. So we have also seen the different compounds and how much percentage of keto form is present in which particular compound, and how much percentage of enol form which is present in other compounds, and what are the different factors which affects on the percentage of ketoenol formation. Then we have also seen the concept of enolization. So in which we have understood this particular enolization is the process in which can be catalyzed either in the acidic condition or in the basic condition. So in this particular session we are going to mainly see what are the different active methylene compounds and its different applications related with the synthetic application. Mainly we are going to see. Already we have understood what are the active methylene compounds, and basically we have come to understood that in the Navinger condensation only we have seen what are the active methylene compounds, and where we have understood that when active methylene compounds reacted with the aldehyde and ketone, they form the unsaturated compound in case of the Navinger condensation. So let us first understand what are the active methylene compounds. As the name suggests, methylene compound. So basically the active methylene compounds are having methylene group. So methylene group is nothing but CH2 group which is attached to the two electron withdrawing groups. The groups may be either carbonyl group, nitrile group, or nitro group, or any electron withdrawing zone. So basically we can say where the CH2 group is just like a sandwiched or in between the two electron withdrawing groups. As a result of that, whatever the protons present on this particular carbon, they are being activated. So these compounds are called as active methylene compounds. So hydrogen atoms on active methylene compounds can be removed by bases like alkoxide anions. So these hydrogens which are present on the active methylene carbon, so they can be removed by bases such as alkoxide anion. So basically, as I already told you, this compound, these hydrogens are being really activated because of the electron withdrawing groups at both the sides, so they can be easily removed by using the strong bases. And after removal of proton, whatever the structure is formed, that is, that can we can also say that particular structure as a carbanion or conjugate base, so that get into the enolization formation, and that can be stabilized by the resonance. So in the next part we will see how it can be get stabilized and what are the different factors associated with. So basically you understood what are the active methylene compounds. If we ask what are the examples of active methylene compounds, so basically we have to remember this particular structure where this particular methylene group is in between the two strong electron withdrawing groups. So let us say X and Y can be either carbonyl group, nitro group, or nitrile group. So we will see one by one example. As already you have studied in earlier classes, what is this structure? Where CH2 group is attached to COCH3. This is a C double bond O CH3 on one side and C double bond O CH3. So this particular structure is called as a acetyl acetone. So as we can see, this particular group and this particular group is electron withdrawing groups. So they are pulling the electron density towards them. So as a result of that, this particular carbon become activated, or protons basically become activated. So we can say this is an active methylene carbon. Then at one side ketonic group, then one side another, this is a ester group. So this is a diketone. This is a basically a compound from the family of beta diketone. This is a beta ketoester. Okay. So what is the name? Ethyl acetoacetate. Ethyl acetoacetate. Then this particular structure is malonic ester. Already we have seen in the earlier part. Both sides there is a ester. So this is a beta diester from the family of beta diester malonic acid, malonic ester. Then at one side there is a electron withdrawing group nitrile C triple bond N, and one side C double bond O C2H5. What is the name? Ethyl cyanoacetate. Remember this particular name. One more structure. At one side there is a nitro group and one side there is a COC2H5. What is the name of this particular compound? Ethyl nitroacetate. So all these compounds are the examples of the from the family of active methylene compounds. They can be either beta diketones, they can be either beta ketoester, or they can be either beta diester. Okay, so remember the examples of active methylene compounds. Go through the names also. So basically now we are going to see the reactivity part. As already we have seen, these active methylene compounds are having some of the important properties, so they can be utilized in terms of preparation of different synthetic compounds from them. So let us see, first part is the salt formation, or how carbanion is formed from the active methylene compound. So this is a acetoacetic ester. Okay, ketoester. This is at one side there is a keto group, another side there is a ester group. So these particular protons are being acidic. So basically what happens, these particular protons, as they are attached to at both the side due to the electron withdrawing groups, so due to the minus I effect, these particular protons carries positive charge, and as a result of that they become very activated, or we can say they become very acidic, and they can be easily picked up by strong bases such as sodium ethoxide. So what will happen, one of the proton will be abstracted from this acetoacetic ester, and as a result of that it will form a conjugate base that is being called as a carbanion. So basically it will form the sodium salt of acetoacetic ester. So this particular sodium salt or sodium salt formation will take place in the first step, along with the formation of ethyl alcohol. So one of this particular H goes here and this Na plus goes here. So this is how the sodium salt is being formed by using a strong base. So whatever this particular structure is formed, or sodium salt, that is being very stable, because that gets stabilized because of the resonance effect. So as we know what is the resonance effect. So if you see this particular structure, this structure and this structure is same structure, only written in the different way. So as we can see, the carbon is having a negative charge along with the electron pair. So what will happen, it will gets resonate, and as a result of that, here we can see the negative charge is conjugated with the double bond, so it can be very easily get stabilized. So if we clearly see that this particular negative charge is conjugated on this side with the double bond, and this side also with the double bond. So at both the side there is a conjugated double bond is present. So as a result of that, these lone pairs can be utilized for the formation of double bond, and as a result of that they will form the oxyanion species. So this is a one resonating structure. And second also we can write, on this side. Suppose this particular double bond formation will take place on this particular side, so this will become, so this become oxygen will become having negative charge. If you see this particular structure, this oxygen is having negative charge. So this is a resonance effect, and as a result of that, this particular structure become stabilized very fastly. So we can say this particular structure is, or sodium salt, that is carbanion, is being stable due to the resonance effect. Then we will see the stabilized enols. Whatever the enols form from the active methylene compounds, they are being stable. So what are the factors which affects for their stabilization? Let us see. The beta ketoesters, beta diketones, or beta diesters exhibit ketoenol tautomerization, but they exist in two enolic forms. So whatever these structures of active methylene compounds, they are present in the equilibrium structures, and these structures are called as ketoenol structures, and they can be interconvertible. So they exist in two enolic forms. There exist two enolic forms, and that's why we can say the keto forms are more stable than enol forms. So enol exists, whatever the enol structure, that will shows the hydrogen bonding and which helps for their stabilization. So we have to remember that the enol form which are being formed from the active methylene compounds, they can be stabilized by hydrogen bonding effect. So let us see how this particular hydrogen bonding effect is formed. As we have seen, this is a acetoacetic ester. So what will happen? It due to the, this is a keto form. Presently we can say this is a beta diketo ester. So this is a beta keto ester. So it will get tautomerized into enol form at this particular size. So what will happen? The hydrogen from here goes to here. So you can see here from red. So double bond formation will take place and position of hydrogen will take. So these two structures are same, but they only differ in the position of hydrogen atom and position of double bond across them. So this is the one structure. In another form also we can write. How can we write? This is a structure. So here you can see the double bond will in this particular structure will form over here, and hydrogen will go here. So there are two possible enolic form. So these two structures are called as a enol structures. Enol means there is a formation of double bond also, carbon carbon, and there is a presence of OH group also. So this is a enol structure. So what they have said, these enolic structures are stable due to the hydrogen bonding. So let us see how the hydrogen bonding structure is getting formed. So if you clearly see this particular structure and this structure, okay, suppose if I write this particular structure in this particular format, here if I write hydrogen separate, OH, O dash H, so this is OH. So this particular hydrogen and the neighboring or one carbon left side, there is a hydrogen bonding formation takes place. So as we know that hydrogen bonding is the bonding takes place in between hydrogen and heteroatoms such as oxygen or nitrogen. So there is a hydrogen bonding takes place here, you can see. Okay, so this particular is the hydrogen bonding. So due to this formation of this particular cyclic structure, this particular enol form is stable. So in the another form, suppose if I write this particular structure in this way, where I write O and H, here also you can see this particular hydrogen bonding takes place. So we can say both the enolic structures can be stabilized due to the hydrogen bonding, and here we have to remember this particular is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intra means what? In between the molecules only. So this is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding which help in the stabilization of enolic compounds. So we have to remember that enol forms of acetoacetic ester. So these structures we can write for any compound, what we have seen in the earlier cases, in case of the ethyl acetoacetate, malonic esters, or every compound we can at least for the diesters, diketones, and these compounds we can show. So we have to remember the enolic structures are more. So we have to remember this particular factor will be responsible for showing of enolic form will be more stable in case of the diketones or diesters compounds. Now we are going to see the application means what, ये compounds के application क्या है, ये लोग हम देखने वाले. सो एक्टिव मिथिलीन कंपाउंड जो रहते हैं उनका हम लोग कैसे यूटिलाइजेशन कर सकते हैं फॉर प्रिपरेशन ऑफ डिफरेंट सिंथेटिक कंपाउंड्स. सो वी आर गोइंग टू सी सिंथेटिक एप्लीकेशन. फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन इज फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ हायर कीटोन्स. सो जो ये एक्टिव मिथिलीन कंपाउंड्स है उसका यूटिलाइजेशन करके हम लोग कीटोन्स भी बना सकते हैं. सो कैसे बना सकते हैं, लेट अस सी द सिंथेटिक प्रोसेस. So this is a structure of acetoacetic ester, as it is one side it is having keto and another side is ester. So it is a acetoacetic ester. So what will happen, we have to use some strong base such as sodium ethoxide. So what will happen, one of the hydrogen will be abstracted, already we have seen this particular phenomena. So it will form the sodium salt. This particular is the carbon is having negative charge, conjugate base formation will take place, first step. Then the next step will be the alkylation process. So alkylation means what, any alkyl halide we have to take the whatever the desired ketone we want to prepare. Based upon that we have to select that particular alkyl halide. So you have to carry out alkylation. The second step will be the alkylation by reacting with the alkyl halide. So what will happen, the alkylation will take place here, the H from here and Cl will be will be leaved, and here you will get the formation of alkyl group. So Na, say here is already Na, so NaCl will be leaved and here you will get the formation of alkylation. Okay, so once the second step will take place alkylation, the next step is ketonic hydrolysis. So whatever this particular compound is takes place, the ketonic hydrolysis will take place, and this particular hydrolysis can be carried out by using strong alkali such as potassium hydroxide and small amount of KH. So as a result of hydrolysis, what will happen, which particular bonds will break, let us see. These two bonds will break. So this particular bond will break, so this particular structure will only remain. Okay, as a result of breaking of this particular bond, and as a result of breaking of this particular bond, the carbon dioxide will be eliminated, CO2, and here is C2H5. So let us see which particular structure is being formed. I already told you this particular bond will break. So as a result of breaking of this particular bond, which particular fragment will remain? CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3, CH3, CH3 coming from here, then this red CH2, C double bond O, CH3. So it is a 2-butanone. So this is how we can prepare ketones. Okay, and what is the left part, one is carbon dioxide and another is C2H5OH. the OH goes over here, so C2H5OH. So this is a ketonic compound. So this ketonic compound we can prepare from the acetoacetic ester. So we can say the application of acetoacetic ester is for the preparation of higher ketones. I will repeat again, this particular preparation proceeds through 3 steps. First step is preparation of sodium salt. With the sodium salt is formed by attack of the strong base such as sodium ethoxide. Then the next step is the alkylation. So in the alkylation we have to take here alkyl halide. Suppose if here based upon this particular CH3, so you can see the CH3 come here. If you want to elongate this particular chain here, if you want to prepare 2-pentanone, if I take here C2H5Cl, then I can prepare the 2-pentanone. So based upon the desired chain you want to have, you can select this particular alkyl halide. Then next step is ketonic hydrolysis, and that results into the breaking of this particular ester. The breaking takes place at here at ester part, and this is how you can prepare. So if you see another applications of this particular ester, or application क्या है इसके, we can also prepare the dicarboxylic acid compounds, or we can also prepare the monocarboxylic acid compounds such as acetic acid. So second and third application is the preparation of monocarboxylic acid and dicarboxylic acid such as succinic acid. So such compounds are we can prepare. There are three applications. If you see, first is the preparation of ketone, second is the preparation of monocarboxylic acid, and third one is the preparation of dicarboxylic acid. So this is a synthetic application of acetic acid, acetoacetic ester. So go through this particular part, a very interesting application and very interesting reactivity of this particular active methylene compounds that can be utilized for the preparation of different families of organic compound. So go through this particular part. Whatever the content what till now we have covered is finished. Almost every part we have covered. Go through this particular topic. Carbonyl compounds, almost 14 sessions are there. So based upon that, we have covered every part related with the carbonyl compounds. Thank you very much. See you in the next part with some another topics. Till then, take care. Goodbye.